Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to episode 10 in our campaign game with the Hunters, GMT Games game where you get to command a Uboat in World War II. It's March 1941, we've completed 9 successful patrols so far, but things are getting much harder. Let's hope our luck continues as we head back out into the Atlantic. Let's do a quick recap as we jump into our next mission. Last patrol was in March of 1941. We sank 3 ships, giving us a total over our 9 patrols so far. 15 ships sunk for a total damage of 80,800 tons of shipping put to the bottom of the ocean. Our next goal in the game is to get to 100,000 tons, which would give us a medal as captain and potential die roll modifiers, which would be good, as well as sliding us from the draw condition in the game to the victory condition in the game. We will have technically won the game if we can get past 100,000 points. On our last patrol also, First Watch Officer McLeod was promoted but developed into an expert, which means there is a chance that he could get his own U-boat. We roll for it at the end of every mission, which would then make Second Watch Officer Ray the First Watch Officer. We'd bring in a new person to replace to fill the vacant Second Watch Officer spot. With that being said, everything is outfitted. We've got our standard array of torpedoes and deck guns ammo, so we will be, let's go roll and see where we're going to be heading. Alright, so U-86 is ready in its pen in France. We get a roll of a 1 or a 2, we get to choose our destination. Anything higher, it's determined for us. So let's see what we get. A 4. So we will roll on the charts to see where we end up here. Looking for... the Atlantic has worked out pretty well, and that's a pretty common result so far. I would also like to get a wolf pack again. That was kind of nice. Check it out. Atlantic wolf pack. It's the only wolf pack result on the chart here. Gosh, it's nice when you can call dice rolls like that. And again, the top result, some people have mentioned, top result looks like a 1, but it's not because it's 2 die roll. Top result's a 2, second one down is a 3. So, we're part of a wolf pack again. Most excellent. That gives us a lot of advantages. So, let's get started. Alrighty, our patrol will take us transit to the Bay of Biscay, transit, then Atlantic, 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 those 4 zones, back to transit and Bay of Biscay. It's been our route the last 2 times, 3rd time in a row. Let's see if we can make it through the Bay of Biscay. We've had some difficulties here, hoping for a nice big number. 10, excellent. So we get through the Bay of Biscay with no problems. Let's go to the transit zone, hoping likewise for another similar high roll here. This one is a 10. Again, 2 10s in a row. We are off, making the long voyage to the dark waters of the Atlantic here. So this, again, is the month now of June 1941, so it should be fairly good weather. Let's see what we get for our first Atlantic option here. Now, convoys have been good, and the wolf pack, that's kind of what we want. So 6, 7, 9, 12 would be good. A 2 for a capital ship would be nice. An 8... An 8 is not good because an 8 gives us nothing at all. Now, I suppose at some point we're going to have a patrol where we just have nothing, right? We're just going to get zeros all the way across and it's going to be uneventful, but hopefully not this one. Let's try again in Zone 2 as we search the waters for enemy shipping. God, another 8 and another nothing. That's the most boring patrol ever so far. Come on, okay, 3rd zone. Let's get our crew finding something here. 7. There we go. Convoy. All right, let's set it up. First, I think even if it's daytime, because we only have 2 zones left and we have a lot of torpedoes that we haven't expended, even if it's daytime, we're going in. I don't know if we're going to try to switch tonight. Let's see what happens here with that, though. Okay, so let's see whether it's day or night. 1 to 3, it's day. We're hoping for night. Yes, excellent, night. Now, the more important role is we want the escorts busy with other U-boats in the wolf pack, so we're hoping for a 1 to 5. Oh God, not a 6. Okay, so that means it's a +1 instead of a -1 modifier on us. I'm gonna think here. This is a tough decision. Alrighty, so we have a plan. We've rolled up the ships here. Our section of the convoy, we've got the Clantara, which is 1.2 thousand tons, so a very light ship, small freighter. Then the large freighter, the Matina, at 5.4k tons. Rio Azul, a small freighter, at 4,000 tons. And the Olinda at 4,100 tons. Now, I think what we can do here, we're going to come in at long range, and we're going to scatter an array of torpedoes at the 3 largest ships. So we're going to fire 2 steam torpedoes at the Matina, the large freighter, 1 at the other 2 small freighters that are next inside, and we're going to ignore the Klantara, which is the smallest of the ships here. I feel like we've seen this one before, but I don't think we sank it. I don't see it on my notes, so I'm not quite sure why I feel that way. But anyway, and we're going to come in at long range, because this will give us a -1 to detection, which will mean that it will offset the +1 to detection because the escort is focused on it. The plan is to hit one of these and damage them, and then follow them and try to sink them after that. So with that in mind, we're at submerged, long range, at night, with the escorts focused on us. We're going to be firing 4 torpedoes, 2 at the large freighter, 1 at each of the 2 larger small freighters. Let's fire away. Alrighty, let's resolve our 4 shots. First up, let's do the outside one here on target number 4, which is the small freighter Olinda. With 4 shots at, well, a shot at long range, we need a 6 or less to hit. There are no modifiers on this now. Hoping we get lucky and we get 1 that isn't a dud. We're rolling 3 dice again. So the white dice are the 2 hit, and the black die is the dud roll. A 1 is a dud, hoping, of course, to avoid that. So fire 1. 7 and a 6. The shot goes wide. Let's do our second shot now. This shot at the Rio Azul, the other small freighter. Let's get a hit here. Oh, God, that's the same exact roll. 7, 6, not a dud, and the torpedo goes wide. We need 1 hit at least. 2 of our steam torpedoes going at the large freighter, the Matina. Fire 3. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, no. We hit, but it's a dud. God. Fire 4. Yes. Oh, the final torpedo hits at a 4 and is not a dud on a roll of 2. So we did get lucky there, finally. Now let's roll for damage. So these 3 are gone and out of action. This last torpedo is on target and explodes into the side of the Matina. Now, the Matina has 3 hits. We get, on damage chart, a roll of a 1 or a 2 would sink this. 4, 5, or 6 would give it 1 damage and only damage it. 3 gets 2 hits on the Matina and damages it, reduces it to 1 hit, but it does not sink. Nevertheless, that somewhat gives us our objective here, as we should be able to follow this target. However, before that happens, we have escort detection, so let's resolve that. All right, as usual, this is a huge roll. Now, normally it's an 8 or less to be undetected. However, it's 1941, so we add 1 to our die roll now, which means that we need a 7 or less. And the Wolfpack escorts are focused on us, which adds another die roll to it, which means we need a 6 or less. However, we fired at long range, and the long range shot means we could subtract 1 from our die roll, meaning 7 or less. And I wanted to get that 7 in there. That's the most common result, so that tips the odds, at least, somewhat more in our favor than against us. Let's see if we can escape undetected. Yes! A 3! We do! We fade into the night. Now, we're going to follow this damaged freighter. So let's see if we can finally finish something off here and get this patrol with at least 1 ship sunk. All right, I did forget to put out the escort marker on that one, but we knew it was there anyway and did it. So the Wolfpack is now out of play. We automatically successfully follow the large freighter, and we will, of course, approach at night. The question is whether the escort stays or not. And so this, again, is that 1 die roll to see if it stays and kind of keeps with the Matina, or whether it abandons it to its fate. For it to stay, it needs a 1 to 4. It abandons it on a 5 or 6. We've had some luck on these so far. Let's hope it continues. Yes! Nice! I think that's the 3rd time we've followed an escorted damaged ship, and I think it's the 3rd time we've got a 5 or a 6. So that is lucky, because that means now we can come in unescorted. We can come in on the surface and get the 1 bonus if we need it. And escorts are gone, so we get to run through all of our weapons. We'll come in at night. We're going to come in at close range. The first thing we'll do is get some of our deck gun ammo, and we're going to bring that up and use that. So this, hopefully, will be almost an automatic. Well, we failed here last time, too, if I'm not mistaken. So let's not say anything is automatic. But at close range, it's not a night service. We're going to first go through our deck gun. We'll use that first. Then probably our aft torpedo, then our forward torpedoes if we need them. But we need an 8 or less to hit. There are no modifiers on this. At close range, all we need is 1 hit, and we've sunk it. 11. Oh, that's a terrible shot. That's way wide. Second shot. 7. Yes, we got it. So with that, we will roll to see how much damage the deck gun does. 5 is 1 damage, but that's all it took. Matina goes to the bottom, and we have 5,400 tons of damage, of tonnage sunk. And that concludes this zone. So let's now move on to our 4th zone. Good, we have a successful mission then, because we've sunk something. And that wasn't bad. Out of that convoy, we escaped detection, no damage to the sub, 5,400 tons sunk. Not our best patrol so far, but there's still 1 zone left, so let's see what happens. Alrighty, so we head to our 4th and final zone. Let's hope we get, let's get a capital ship at a 2. That would be fun. Oh, 5. God! 5 is, in the Atlantic, is nothing. So only 1 convoy encountered on this patrol. We head back to the transit zone. Let's roll to see if we make it through that. So we need a big number here, hopefully greater than a 3. 10? That's our 3rd 10 on the transit in the Bay of Biscay. Now, the much more difficult, well, not necessarily much more difficult, but the more difficult Bay of Biscay, aircraft searching for us. Hopefully we can evade them. 7? Can't see the 4. Yep, 7. Okay, so we are through. And back to port. Well, not one of our most exciting patrols, not as exciting as the last 2. However, happy to have brought a ship down. I like that strategy that we used firing at long range to try to damage something and then follow it. I think that worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. But let's go in and wrap up our patrol and summarize things and get outfitted for our 11th patrol. Alrighty, so relatively straightforward refit. We just have to put some torpedoes into the forward torpedo storage and put some steam torpedoes up there, and then just bring in a little bit more of deck gun ammo, and we are all set to go. Now we have a couple, let's summarize the patrol. So we, again in the Atlantic region, part of a wolf pack, we did have the escorts focus on us, but by attacking at long range, we were able to minimize the chances they found us. We did get 1 ship damaged. We followed up and sunk it, the Matina, at 5,400 tons, which gives us now, added to our 80,800 tons, grand total of 86,200 tons. Closing in on that 100,000, that would mean a decoration for us as the commander, and then also sliding into that victory condition. So maybe if we have a big patrol next time, we could get that. The other good thing here is that our refit is only going to take 1 month, the month of July 1941. So we will be back in August of 1941 for our 11th patrol. And what'll happen after that one, if we make that one, is we get a roll for another promotion as the captain of the ship. And the good thing about that is by getting our next patrol in of August, if we could sink 1 ship, it will give us 10 ships sunk. And every 10 ships sunk is a -1 die roll modifier to the promotion. So instead of a 1 to 4 roll, it would be a 1 to 5 roll. So that could help us out there. So that pretty much sums up, I think, everything here. There is one other matter that we must attend to every time we come back now on patrol, which is to see if our first watch officer, Officer McLeod, has been promoted to get his own U-boat. And if that happens, then Watch Officer Ray will switch up to the first watch officer, and we will bring on our first person off the waiting list. So the promotion happens on a roll of a 6. If we do, we will say goodbye to First Officer McLeod. Oh, congratulations! So, First Watch Officer, it's actually not so great for our ship in terms of skill levels, but First Watch Officer McLeod is promoted. He gets his own U-boat, U-boat 237, let's say. Second Watch Officer Ray now gets promoted to First Watch Officer. We're just going to make this flippity-flip. And then the first person on the waiting list is Officer Klingman. So Officer Klingman will come in at the regular level of Second Watch Officer. So congratulations to Officer McLeod, First Watch Officer McLeod, who now is the captain of his very own U-boat. And with that bit of good news, it's been great having you of service too, of course, but and all these things as well. So excited to see how that turns out for Officer McLeod. That brings us to the end. That was a relatively straightforward. It was kind of nice to have one where we didn't get almost blown apart underwater with depth charges or hit by an aircraft and things like that. Now, as we get into the back half now of just kind of looking ahead just a touch, as we get into the back half now of 1941, so August, the patrol zones will change a little bit. just a likelihood where you go. Wolf packs become a little bit more prominent. Of course, we had good luck with wolf packs this time. We get to get 2 of our patrols in this time period with the wolf pack. And other than that, a lot of patrols in the Atlantic. The Atlantic action gets hot and heavy here. So we'll be looking for some summer sailing in the Atlantic in August 1941 on our next patrol. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, as that helps the channel very much. And if you're new, please consider subscribing. About 40% of the content on the channel is historical gaming and wargaming. So we'll see you again in episode 11. Looking forward to it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye.